This is the Tri-State Time Machine, brought to you by Alex R. White, PLLC, at SueDistractedDriver.com. Each week, your host, Vanessa Hankins, and her guests share memories and stories about the past, the present, and the future of the Tri-State area. That's West Virginia, Kentucky, and the Ohio areas. If you used to live here, or you currently live here, you're going to catch yourself saying out loud, "Wow, I remember that." Now, here's Vanessa.
Hey guys, it's Vanessa.
It's Jason. Good morning, everybody. How are you?
We're excited to be back, and we don't have a guest today, so you get to put up with just me and Jason. So
that's right.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Lucky
Welcome
you.
Back.
Today we've kind of did, I'll be honest, we did a little bit of a hodgepodge today. We didn't have a plan. We just knew we wanted to get some content out. So we came in the studio, we sat down, we small talked, and we decided we're going to take a trip back into the summers decades past of Huntington. So, we're talking Cannon Park, drive-ins, 4th of July fireworks, festivals. We're talking all that.
All the great memories for everybody. And it's funny. It's very similar to our Christmas episode that we did.
Yes.
Kind of going back, touching base on all those memories for the tri-state area. And this one will be also very great memories. I feel like Christmas time and this time of year are the two most memorable times of year for everybody.
I think so too. I would agree with that. And it's crazy how fast winter goes away and summer approaches, but it goes away just as quickly as it came.
Quick.
So there's definitely a lot of memories in the minds of all of us crammed into these little bitty mini summers that we've had, which of course back in the day they were a lot longer than we seem to get nowadays.
School year started later, all that. Yeah, it's changed everything.
It really has. So Jason, what's your strongest summer memory in the tri-state?
Wow, that's a tough one, to be honest. I have a lot of great memories, just like with Christmas time, as kids, as teenagers, as adults, the things that we look forward to. I mean, obviously memorable things, and this is outside of tri-state, is, going on vacations, beach trips, things like that.
I was going to say that's the big one. The big one around here is we always say that Myrtle Beach is full of people from West Virginia on vacation.
Yeah, it's the 2.0. Yeah, and I was actually talking to Councilwoman Teresa Johnson yesterday, and we were talking back and forth about all the pools that used to be in the city.
Oh, yeah.
I can even remember even Milton, West Virginia, in their little city, they had one. Barbersville had one. And you work your way back here, you're looking at, Guyandotte. You had the Olympic Pool, which we all knew very well.
Yes, that was where a lot of my childhood was spent.
Thank God the A.D. Lewis is still thriving. It is the pool in the city now.
It is.
It's made it through all of it. And, I'm just so glad for those kids. And that's what her and I were talking about. All these people would say how expensive it was to upkeep and blah, blah, blah. Well, we spent a lot of money on a lot of things, but this is childhood memories. They need things to do to keep them out of trouble, to have fun, to live a good life.
Right. And we're not sure exactly when this episode will air, but if you're in the tri-state, you know that right now it's Tuesday. We're in a heat wave. It is hot around here, and I actually seen that there was like a surge in electricity, I think like on the south side a day or two ago. So think of that many people that were just without, even if they had the ability to have air conditioning, they had that luxury. A lot of them were without it in this heat wave because of the outage.
Yeah.
So, I mean, just that amount of people alone having something like a pool available to them, like at A.D. Lewis, is huge.
Right.
Because the closest one that we have other than that is the one in Canova. We have Dreamland.
Yeah.
And then we have the one on Route 2, is that the Kennedy Center? Is that what it's called up there?
Yeah, with the YMCA affiliate.
With the YMCA, yeah. So, I mean, you've got a haul either direction. So that is the closest one.
And that makes it difficult because now you're going to be wet in your car, blah, 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 all these things. And I know you can change and all that, but let's be honest, kids are kids. They just want to hop in and go.
They just want to hop in.
They're ready for summer and just to do all the things.
Absolutely. So it's perfect for everyone that lives in that neighborhood.
Yeah.
They can just stroll right down the road and jump in and call it a day, be dry by the time they make it home in the evening.
Yeah, for sure.
So, yeah, I'm very thankful that we put the money and the education behind fixing the A.D. Lewis. We weren't just putting a Band-Aid on it. Everything was repaired the right way, and it's going to outlast this regime that's in right now, and I think that's awesome.
Yeah, it shows great leadership in our administration right now, making that a priority.
I agree.
Our kids are a priority. Our safeties are a priority. And that's why I don't think that they missed anything, to make sure that was done the right way. You know, if there was faucets that needed, if there was certain paint and cement work and all that, I mean, everything was done top notch. And I love that.
I do too. I really do. I did a lot of work over at A.D. Lewis, and you really get attached to the kids that hang out in that center. Some of them have great home lives. It's not limited to children that do have rough home lives, but there are a handful that do have a rough life, and that is the place that they call home. That's where they get to go, and I'm thankful that our city keeps supporting that in that neighborhood.
Absolutely.
I really am. I think... going back to the question that I asked you, I think probably my strongest summer memory is going down the big double slides at Olympic Pool.
Yeah.
Do you remember before they closed those down?
That was way back, yeah.
That was way back, yeah. So, like, I just remember that being, like, the highlight of my summer is, like, it would take me almost the whole summer to get brave enough to go down those slides.
Yeah.
And then once you did it, you were like, oh, okay, now I'm one of the cool kids. I can hang out in the deep side of the pool.
Right, yeah. Yeah, you have to earn your way.
Yeah.
And that reminds me, too, of even thinking about, and it's not here in Huntington, but of course we're tri-state.
Yeah.
I think of the Wave Pool in Hurricane.
Oh, yeah,
Love
absolutely.
that place. That was, and even Foxfire. That was such a cool place.
Foxfire was such a cool place. I only got to go one time, and I got to go as an adult. But I always, when we were traveling down the interstate, would look over and be like, oh my gosh, I want to go there. It's like a water park. Which, as an adult, I see that it wasn't quite that magnificent. But as a kid, you get excited when you see that stuff.
Oh, yeah. The slides were great. The pool was great.
The paddle
and then
boats.
You could swim over in the lake part of it, kind of like you do out at Beach Fork, which that's another lot of my great memories. We used to go to the Beach Fork at the beach part all the time.
I was going to say, that was before there was an actual pool out there. So, you had the swimming area that kind of got roped off and turned into the area for you to... And something that I always appreciated about Beach Fork and the swimming area out there is that for the longest time, it was the only place that I ever seen that was ADA compliant for people to be able to get into the water. And you wouldn't think that in Wayne.
Yeah.
But it really was one of like the first places that I remember, like in a swimming area, seeing like a wheelchair ramp that came all the way down. The shower houses were ADA compliant, all that. And I thought that was really cool because it was way before its time.
Yeah, for sure.
It was before places were being made to do that, to be politically correct.
Yeah, they were ahead of the time in this area for sure.
They really were. And speaking of Beach Fork, now they do have that pool, and it's phenomenal. There's
Very nice.
2 parks on either side of it, and then if you cross the road, the county road out there, then you're in the campground.
Right.
They've got disc golf out there. They've got the
everything.
cabins. Yeah, they've got everything. You can rent boats, canoes, kayaks, all the things. So, I mean, it's super cool, and I'm thankful that we have stuff like that. That's been there for a really long time, too. It's man-made, so that's been around for, like, our grandparents and probably their grandparents as well. So I think that's awesome that we share in those memories. Of course, the crowd favorite in the tri-state area, and still to this day, is always Camden Park.
Oh, yeah.
Any
I was
great
actually
memories?
just getting ready
to
to mention that. I remember, of course, going in the little kiddie part there towards the front of the park as a child.
Oh, yeah, there to the left.
And then now I've seen my children go through it. And my grandpa used to tell me stories of when he was there. One memory I talk about with everybody is the Camden Queen that used to go up and down the creek.
Yes.
I miss that.
Yes, I was out. Again, I only got to do it one time, and it was because a friend of mine's parents treated us to being able to afford, because it was like $50 a pop.
Yeah, it was a little expensive.
It was a little, even for its time, it was expensive. But yeah, you got to get on the boat and go down the what is that? Is that a stream? What is?
I think it's a creek. It's just very large, and then it feeds into the river.
Right. But you got to go down, and they would play. Was the music live that was being played on that?
I believe so.
I thought so too, but I wasn't sure. I was like, I think that. It seemed like that to me because I remember people carrying instruments on and off and just being like, oh my God, I really want to go on that boat. There's so much fun being had. So Camden Park launched in 1903, and it is the last amusement park, original amusement park that we have in West Virginia, to my understanding. Is that correct? Yeah.
It 100% is, yeah.
We had on a whim, we went a few weeks ago. We took our daughters, and we had such a blast, but there were so many things shut down for various reasons, which I haven't touched base with you about this since then, but we were really bummed because the paratrooper was down.
Correct.
And they weren't opening it back up. And we were like, well, what's the deal? I have since heard they cannot find a replacement part for it, and it's probably going bye-bye. And my heart breaks a little bit for that, because that was the first big, brave ride that Carly got on that fell in love with Camden Park for, you know? So that's a bummer.
All the rides that we've gone through, you know, when we talked about this, you know, through the years, all the rides that we've lost there, you know, through, whether it be through fire, whether it be through whatever.
Yeah.
The Thunderbolt Express was one that we talked about.
Yes, that was the deal back in the day. If you rode that, you were such a badass. Yes.
Yeah.
You were like the cool kid on the block, though, if you could make that ride.
Right.
First of all, you had to be tall enough. It was the only like height restricted ride.
And it's funny because it was just a piece of an other roller coaster.
A piece of a much bigger,
And we hyped it up like it was the real deal,
the
like you're at
coaster.
Kings Island.
Yes. That's what it felt like, though, which was really cool. What I find really fascinating about Camden Park is that it originated as kind of like a park and ride. It was the hub for the community, and people would, you know, get dropped off there by train, meet up with coworkers, and carpool.
Just a way to kill time.
Just a way to kill time. So they made it a little nicer here and there. They made it into a walking park with a rose garden, and then it became a zoo, and then they got the what's the spinny thing? The the horses.
Yeah, carousel.
The carousel. I could not think of the word. And then they got the carousel, which is, it's not the same carousel, I don't believe. I think that's the second one that they've had.
Yeah, it's the second one.
But then it became a zoo. Like, they had hippos and like elephants and all the things, and you could just go on your little date courtship and walk around the park and do all the things. And then it ended up getting bigger and bigger to the amusement park that we have today. And I think it's pretty cool that they've brought in a new ride. What is that thing called? Oh, Carly's going to kill me for this because I can't remember the name of it. Is it the Rattler?
It is.
The Rattler, okay.
And I feel like they used to bring in something every year, and I feel like the last couple of years they've kind of just dealt with what they had.
Yeah.
Which, you know, you lose the paratrooper and things, maybe that'll get replaced with that.
Yeah, hopefully.
You know, I think about the loss of the Spider. It's gone still.
Yes.
That was really great.
Yeah.
You know, we had the roller rink there for years.
The roller rink has a lot of my childhood memories there, yes. And then I noticed the last couple of years, they put a putt-putt place in, and it had been down. But when we were there the other day, it was back up because there were people putt-putting the whole time we were on the sky lift, which if you go on the sky lift as of like this summer, take a look to your far left over towards the river and see all the magnificent dirt moving that is happening already with our sanitary ward. That's pretty cool.
Absolutely.
Hopefully by the time you hear this one, you've heard our previous episode, and that'll chime in a little bit better for you. But it was pretty cool to loop around there and see how a lot of those grounds have been cleaned up back that way and underneath the sky lift and things like that. So
it really is.
I thought that was fun. I'm afraid of the sky lift, so I try to focus on literally everything but being on the sky lift when I'm on there.
I think everybody is, because it's just, you're very high up and you're just open. There's a bar that
you can just open.
Literally open and close as you must.
I get terrified when I see people with like littles on it, because I'm like, they could literally just throw their back up, and slide right out. Like, what is the world, you know, coming to when that
maybe
is...
That's why they don't have any accidents, though, is because where it makes us so nervous, we're very
careful. Maybe.
We don't take advantage of it.
Yeah, maybe.
And when you mentioned that dirt that's over there, you know, even Camden Park owns some of those houses that are going to be removed and that have been bought out to put in the new highway for all the construction and things there. So that's really good, too.
It's going to be really nice. I'm excited for it. And I'm excited for all the drivers because... living in Westmoreland, we use that road a lot out there, and they'll just be setting forever just trying to turn because of how narrow the road is for them to turn onto. So this is going to be a game changer for them and for us too. They're not going to be messing up our traffic flow. Yeah, which is pretty awesome
for sure.
I think we would be remiss if we didn't mention some of the burial grounds at Camden Park while we're talking about it a little bit.
Yeah, the burial mounds for sure.
Super, super cool. So that's a 26-acre site, and it's got the third largest bandstand that was ever put around, which was that was a big deal back. That was before
Very
our
big.
time. But doing the bandstand there, they did that, and they did it at Dreamland too.
Yeah.
I mean, it was huge. That was a big staple in summer around Huntington.
Some of the biggest names when you're talking. Even back then, Bing Crosby,
I was
Frank
going to say
Sinatra,
they
whoever,
had like
everybody was
complete
around.
orchestras at Dreamland and stuff like that. So
And
I would
then
imagine
tying
they
to
probably did
Keith.
at Camden too.
Yeah.
Right. So crazy.
We had the big names here for sure.
Absolutely. What is another big thing that shaped Huntington life? Probably the river. Living by the Ohio River.
Yeah, we used to have obviously the regatta, which we've talked about previous episodes. We had the jet boat races. We've had, all the different carnivals and, the festivals. Listen, Huntington's known for its festivals. Rib Fest and all these. I mean, you get Chili Fest in the fall. And we do a really good job of everybody coming together with these festivals and just trying to make it a lot of fun. Good food, good fun. Everybody gets together. You see all your neighbors and family and things. And people even come back to town because of them.
Absolutely. I remember actually the regatta was the first time I ever got to go to a concert. I should have shared that with Dan the other day when we had him on because he's so proud of the regatta, and I think it would have meant a lot to him, but I'll have to tell him next time I see him. But I got to see Aaron Tippin at the riverfront at the regatta, and we got VIP passes because we won them on what it was, like 93.7 or something like that, or WTCR, that's what it was, 103.3.
Yeah.
And all these radio stations, they were like embedded in my head because I was so obsessed with music when I was a kid. Had to have that station just right on the knob to pick them up. But going down there and watching the boat races and seeing all of the community members come together and have a great time, and all of the restaurants and things like that thrived in Huntington for that weekend because all of the influx of people coming in and wanting to eat and the food vendors, and they even had like skydiving.
Oh yeah.
You could go up on this big platform and just jump off and like do base jumps. I mean, they had it all. It was so cool.
Yeah, it's funny, we'll lose a few things here and there, but we gain a few things here and there. And again, the testament to the city of always just kind of revamping itself and all the different activities there are from our park systems and how well they're utilized at Ritter.
Absolutely.
There's something going on there constantly.
Absolutely.
Rotary has that Almost Heaven, West Virginia swing that's up there. I encourage a lot of people still have no idea about that.
They have no idea it's up there, and it's been up there for it's over a year at this point.
Year and a half, 2 years, something like that.
I was going to say it's been
beautiful.
a while because I remember my girlfriend who was with Parks and Rec. She's now in Pocahontas County, but she was just now starting her new journey into Pocahontas County.
The view
when
up there
they
is
put that
unbelievable
in.
of Huntington. I mean, it just is.
It's beautiful. It really is. And they take really good care of it, and they take a lot of pride in their work. We've had Lauren on here before, and it's always a great time. I think as a community, I think we're still... We love to come together and celebrate. So we have several festivals that still go on to this day. We may not have the regatta anymore, but we have the West Virginia Hot Dog Festival. We've got the new Taco Fest. They do a Juneteenth festival.
Yeah, it's big. We just passed it.
Yeah, we just passed that. So the Downtown Huntington Art Walk, the iHeart Summer Concert Series. You've got 9th Street Live. That's
all of our concerts.
We have
concerts.
So much music. So if you're a music lover, like this is the place to be. It really is. You can see music, I think, starting Wednesday night all the way through the weekend.
Yep.
In Huntington at any given time.
Not including what our Civic Center does with concerts and stuff like that.
Not including that, right? Exactly.
We just have such a great regime of just different bits of music for all likes, and then what. You and Brandon and I and so many others would go to the Loud. That's always great.
The Loud is always great. And
great venue.
Yes, absolutely. And we shout out to Luna Pizza since we're talking about the Loud. Because it is superb. There's nothing better than capping off your night with a Luna Pizza. Some other festivals that we also have are the Rails and Ales is huge.
Very big.
Very, very big one. And it's always successful.
Quartz and Kegs in Barbersville.
Quartz and Kegs. We've got the Fly-In Festival up on Route 2. We even have a film festival. We have the Appalachian Film Festival that comes
big time
right here into Huntington.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we have so much, and all of it, to my knowledge, aside from the Fly-In Festival and Rails and Ales, I think they're all free.
Yeah, I believe you're right. I mean, and that's the crazy part is so many things are free.
Yeah.
That's why when all these people say, there's nothing to do, man, listen, it's free.
Get out and do it.
There's stuff to do, but not only that, it's free.
Right, absolutely. Who are some people that you have seen over the years in Huntington? Can you think of anybody else top of your head?
Oh gosh, I mean, you mean like concert wise?
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen
You've seen
tons
some
of
pretty good
country
shows.
people.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, you have Tyler Childers, blah blah blah. That's more newer, but I can remember seeing Chubby Checker back in the day when I was younger.
Yes.
I remember when 98 Degrees and NSYNC and all these different people have been around.
I remember going and
Girls
seeing...
going crazy, the concert parking areas.
Yes. I was going to say, I remember going and seeing like Ashanti and Nelly. And,
oh, yeah.
And it was like a few other people. And that was like my first experience with like a live rap show. And I was like, I'd only been to country music shows at that point. So I was like, what is going on? These people do not sound anything like what they do on their albums.
Yeah.
So that was a rude awakening for me. I learned my lesson pretty quick.
I think of WWE used to come here all the time.
Yes,
they'd have Monday Night Raw here and all kinds of stuff. I remember seeing Stone Cold and Goldberg and all these big time names here.
Absolutely. And I know we weren't talking about this specifically, but another kind of thing we've had in the area for quite a while is the Tough Man contest. That's right there at the Civic Center.
People love to see their fighting.
That's a yearly event. Yes, they love it. They really do.
Anything to do with fighting, I promise the Tri-State's going to be there.
Absolutely. So let's talk a little bit about places that we no longer have anymore. There's a lot of places that are gone that we talked about in the beginning about pools. We have Olympic Pools gone. The pool that was in Westmoreland, I don't remember what it was even called.
That was a long time, yeah. Guy and Dot.
I mean, there's a lot of places like that. We have a lot of like soda fountains. That was really big back in its day. Those are gone. So the only one remaining is that Griffith. How do you say
Griffith
that?
and File.
File, in Canova. Or is that considered? I think that's Canova, not Cerrito yet.
I believe so. Yeah, it's Canova.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say I don't know exactly where that line is, but I think that's the only one that we have in the area, to my knowledge.
I believe so.
Which is pretty cool to still have that thriving, and people still love going there for lunch, and it's a big deal still. Another thing that we don't have anymore are drive-ins.
That was so cool.
Which once was a Walmart on Route 60 was the huge Route 60 drive-in. That one was the big player. That was the place you took your date and
you saw it from 60, 64. I mean, that big screen just right up there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Super cool. Which later, Walmart didn't last either, and now it's a medical center. But there was another big drive-in over in Ashland. I can't remember the name of it either, but that's a thing that I would love to see come back. I don't know that there might not be money in it to be made, so maybe we just need to keep wishing. But how cool would that be to take your kids to a drive-in movie? Now, we really did make use of COVID-19, and everybody bought the inflatable screens.
The inflatable ones, yeah.
We did
Everybody
things like
those.
that. So we kind of get a taste of what a drive-in movie is like, minus the drive-in. But what would be cooler than having that little box that you tune in on your radio and having the kids experience that? I think that would be really cool.
I think about, too, the bowling alleys that we've lost.
We really have.
That used to be the thing.
It
Fridays,
was.
People were in leagues through the week, all that kind of stuff. And, to my knowledge, the only one even semi-close now would be Strike Zone still. And they've kind of revamped and changed things and developed with the change in times a little bit with the Galactic. And then they have... all the different glow in the dark and this, that, and the other, and the music and videos playing on all the screens.
Yeah.
So it made it almost like a party theme there.
Yeah, absolutely.
But other than that, Ted's Imperial Lanes,
I was going to say that
Lanes.
one's in Colonial Lanes is gone. I think we do still have one. What is it called up in Ironton?
Yeah, I think you're right, because it's kind of like a multiplex.
Is it a Spare Time? Is that
Spare Time?
Spare Time.
It's laser tag. There's a few things there.
There's a few things there, but
even
that's
one in
pretty
Ashland
cool.
closed, Blue Ribbon or whatever it's called.
Yeah, it's gone too. And there was one right there in Cerrito, and I think it actually burnt down. And then they chose not to rebuild. But we still have. And I know this from friends that do it. I wouldn't have known otherwise. But we still have a pretty big following for bowling around here with bowling leagues and stuff.
Yeah, Marshall even had one down in
that's cool. I didn't
the
know that.
Student Center. They had one at one time.
That's really cool.
There was one in the arcade downtown Huntington.
Oh, cool. I did not know that.
Yeah, we've lost a lot of course, that's way beyond for our youth. But I do know that those were there.
Well, it was a lot more common if
Sure.
When we talked about courting earlier around the hub what became Cannon Park. That's what you did when you went on dates back in the day. You went and did an activity. There was none of this hanging at each other's houses or meeting online and all that. You got to know one another by going and actually going and bowling, going to a swimming pool, going to these locations, going to the theater, the parks, and all that. So the times were different, and I think that's why probably the need for all those places isn't as relevant anymore, because people aren't meeting in the same way anymore.
Social media has
really
changed so many things with that, and sometimes I feel like we're losing our personal touch, in being involved in things and doing things to have fun together, have an experience.
Absolutely.
Humans need to interact.
Absolutely.
And it can't just be by typing.
Yes.
We need to see how each other reacts, the way, our eyesight is towards each other, and the way our facial features change. So
if we can vibe with each other, right? Yeah, absolutely. I think that just makes me think of having, my family over all weekend. We had my family in from out of town and stuff like that, and we were in the pool and just goofing off, and my nephew's climbing up my shoulders and jumping off and showing his big muscles and talking to us about how much he's grown. And then you've got Carly showing us exactly how to get on the dinosaur perfectly so that you don't flip. And it's those kinds of moments that humans need and crave.
We need human interaction.
We have to have that in order to thrive and be happy.
Yeah, you don't get that with a text.
No, you do not. No.
That's why, people get mad at me. I've lived in these bigger cities and traveled so much. I always want to drive. People are like, what is wrong with you? I said, you're missing all the memory from the in-between.
Yes.
Whether your car breaks down, that's a memory. Whether, you see some weird sight or, something weird, or the new restaurant you've never known about and all these things. You're missing all that. You just go from A to B and fly through the sky.
I'm trying to think. The biggest thing that is my new fun thing to find around town is Alex, our podcast sponsor. He is really big into marketing, so he will have his billboards pop up in the most random places.
I've seen them in Poca.
Yes, they're like everywhere, but they're like in the most random places. So that has become my new fun thing to be on the lookout for around town. Is where's Alex going to pop up next? So
that's right.
Shout out to Alex White and
and your randomness.
SueDestructiveDriver.com and your randomness. Yeah, your genius marketing. I don't know who you hired, or it might just be you, but it's working.
That's right.
They're everywhere. We love it. All right, so let's talk a little bit about cool treats and summer eats. Where are your favorite places in the summer? I think my number one, when I think cool treats, which we're really lucky now, and that's changed from the past, but we have 2 Austin's ice cream locations now.
We do have 2.
We have 2 places. You don't have to wait for hours in Cerrito. Yes. Yeah. It's nice.
One of my favorites, and I don't even know if there's any around anymore, was Snow Biz.
Oh, yeah.
I used to love all the different flavors with the icy things and all that. That was always cool. And then I remember in gas stations, you had the slushy machines.
Yes.
And the icy machines and all those kind of things.
Oh, Carly and I got into it bigger than crap over slushies and ices, because they are 2 very different
Definitely
things.
Not the same.
Well, excuse me, but I learned not the same.
I bet she did.
Absolutely not the same. She schooled me this weekend.
Yeah, she schooled you. That's good.
She called me out in front of everybody. It was pretty ridiculous. But you're right. I mean, things like that you don't see every day anymore in these gas stations and stops, things like that. So those were. I always loved the alligator ice. Do you remember the alligator ice? The little little bits.
Yep.
Those things were so good, and I love the blue one. They always turned your mouth bright blue and your lips and everything. Yeah, that was my favorite. As far as eating, we talk about this a lot in the tri-state. We have so many options for outdoor seating to enjoy, not only each other's company, but the ambiance and the culture that's surrounding us in the area. And you've got that all the way from up in Taze Valley all the way down past Ashland.
Oh, yeah.
We've got so many places. A few of our favorites, I would say, lately, we love Davis's Place for lunch.
No,
so that's
Davis
always
is the real deal,
and they've got the best outdoor seating and indoor seating, and a lot of people don't know, but it's kid friendly up until a certain point in the evening.
Is. Yeah.
So you if you ever have a hankering for it and you're like, I don't know about taking my kids, call ahead, see what the vibe is. If it's not out of control and they don't have the jukebox and all that stuff going yet, it's definitely a kid friendly vibe. It can be a family favorite, I think, easily.
Yeah.
Another great place that I think has wonderful seating for 9th Street Live is SIP.
Sip is a great
Sip is
area.
a great little place to like have a glass of wine. You can sit in the building, but see the outside of the building. But is it like a garage door that opens up?
It does. It just slides up and it creates that indoor-outdoor
cool.
kind of thing. Yeah, it's very
cool.
nice. The paddock is a great place too. That has some outdoor that people don't
realize.
realize.
It really is, and it's a great if you're a Westmoreland person and you come into town. It's a great midnight stop on your way back home to Westmoreland.
It is. It is.
It really is, and they have great food and great service.
Yeah, and I think of some of a little more upscale. You've got, of course, our rooftop bar with La Fontaine's,
We love
and
La
one that I
Fontaine's.
can almost guarantee that most people don't know about. It's one of my favorite places, and I may lose the reason this is one of my favorites because it's quiet when I go there, but. So many people like the Grill on 3rd and have no idea that they have a beautiful outdoor patio area with music, with fireplace. I mean, it's got everything. Fire pit, I should say. The waiters and waitresses still come in and out. They wait on you. They take care of everything. But their patio is very nice. It's fenced off with privacy
the service
fencing.
There is wonderful.
Right.
We've never had bad service.
Yeah, and it's
not once.
Hustling and bustling inside. I mean, the place is booming. And I go outside, and it's like I'm in a whole different world. So, you
may have just
I've
lost your
busted it
spot.
out. But, listen, you can get great wines, great food. They have Wednesday steak specials, all that good stuff, which I'm not marketing them. But that outdoor area,
But it's
take
good.
advantage of that.
Take advantage of it. All the
Yeah.
places that have it. Even the place right down the road from it, right there on the corner by Marshall, used to be, what is that now? Calamity
Yeah.
Cafe.
They've got that upstairs
Why
outdoor.
was I
That's
actually
cool.
trying to think of what it used to be called? Because I remember when I was in high school, they had like a little, like a downstairs where they did like, you can come and do like live acoustic and stuff like that. What was that called then? It had the kind of like hippie vibe and all that. I can't think of what
there
it's
was a
called.
Calamity Cafe that they
Back in the
revamped.
day.
Right, that's
yeah.
what it was.
And maybe that was it. Maybe
And
that's what it
then
was called then.
Black Sheep moved in there.
Black Sheep was there for quite a while.
And then they, of course, went to their new location, which
Yes.
they just recently closed.
Yep.
And then it became Calamity J's, which
Yep.
they brought a few items back. It's kind of almost like a Tex-Mex
Yep.
vibe.
They brought some of the menu items
Yeah,
back.
a couple of the items, which was cool.
Yep.
But we have a lot of great outdoor. And again, I know I talk about our park systems all the time. You can go all up and down the rivers through here, and there's seating everywhere.
Grab some food to go and
Yep.
and take up an evening in the park.
Nothing better.
Have an old school picnic.
Yeah.
My mom and dad's favorite thing to do for us and it was few and far between when it happened, but go through KFC, get the bucket,
Yeah.
and then go out to the lake
Yeah.
and spend your evening out of the heat and get some sun.
For sure. Yeah. It's such a nice
absolutely.
thing.
The more we talk about this stuff, it's like the more things change, the more they stay the same. We're still, like we talked about, we're still as humans looking for that connectivity, and that comes from getting out and enjoying our community. And we've touched on a few things, but I want to talk about all of the amazing things, or as much as we can think of anyways, that we have going on here in Huntington. We touched on it a little bit. We have the Pullman Square Thursday night. We have 9th Street Live on Friday night. Saturday, you can go into the Loud. You can go into, there's multiple places that
14th Street West.
Boots. There's so many places you can go. What is the bar right there at 14th Street West? Bobby
G's.
Bobby G's.
They always have live music and stuff.
always have live music.
Yep.
And usually they'll get somebody for like the week.
Oh, yeah.
So any day of the week you could probably go in there and catch a band, which I think is really, really cool. And 14th Street West is so cool. Like you could go there. You could grab dinner at the cafe.
Yeah.
If you do an early enough dinner,
Yeah.
and walk on
Lunch,
down to Bobby
dinner, all
G's
those,
and have you a good evening and take it home at the end of the night and have a day well spent.
Cicada bookstores there. They sell
Yes.
records and books. You can go in there and eat, get coffee, whatever you need to do. You've got the Wild Ramp.
The Wild Ramp. Huge.
Of course, yeah, especially on weekends. My gosh.
Yes.
And there's festivals going on there all the time,
Yeah,
too.
they did Ramp Fest. They did, what was the most recent one they did?
Most recent was the Central City Days.
The Central
That's what
City
it's called,
Days,
yeah.
yes, which they didn't have the best weather for that, but I seen the tents up and everything else.
Yeah.
They kept
They
on
were
carrying
everywhere.
on, yeah.
Yeah.
They kept it up. But, we really do have so many wonderful things to get into in this community. So
I think about our trail systems, too. We have outstanding trail systems here. And even at our local high schools, there is, they have their trails for, all of their things with cross country and different things like that. So, but Rotary Park, you have the Ambrose Trail that goes all up and down.
Yep, Ambrose Trail. You've got
Carter Caves down there has beautiful.
Heritage Farm. Amazing bike trails and hiking trails. And then if you're really brave and you make it to the top, you can zip line back down.
That's right. Man, that place is going to be unbelievable here soon.
It really is. And I think I talked about it a little bit before, but the holler that you drive up in to get up to the top to the zip line is probably 3/4 of the fun experience of doing the zip line. Is feeling like you're going to fall off this mountain in the side by side going up to the top of the hill, which is pretty cool. Carly rode up with WG and I when we went to do the zip line, and when I say someone was hanging on by their bare knuckles because she was so scared. I mean, her knuckles were white. Love her heart. But it was part of the fun, and I almost convinced her to zip line down because she was afraid to go back down in the holler.
What a change up. Kind of screwed either way on that one.
Yes, exactly. But it almost worked.
That's great. I love that.
Oh, Lord. Any fun events that I know yesterday you guys had council.
We did.
And you got to make a really big announcement. So
yeah, the resolution has been passed. The shovels will be in the ground very soon. The bid had been won by Neighbor Girl Construction, and our brand new fire station will now be built on the 3200 block of Piedmont Road.
It's there in Westmoreland. Exciting.
It's great.
I know that everybody in Huntington doesn't understand us when we get so excited about this fire station, but you have to understand, if you've never been stopped in traffic while they're trying to back that truck into that tiny little place, which they are phenomenal at it, do not get me wrong.
Oh, they've got it down to a science.
They have it down to a science, but you hate that for them. You hate that so much for them.
It's a 100-year-old building.
It
wasn't equipped and built for these big things like that.
And it wasn't built for these guys to be staying in it like they do either. Yeah. It was more of a small time kind of. Back in the day, yes, they were paid firemen, but they had more of a volunteer schedule than they did a 9 to 5 or 24-hour shift like they do nowadays.
Well, it's an outstanding career. Our guys work so hard. This is not only for the safety of them, but the safety of our people.
Absolutely.
Westmoreland and the western part of the West End has needed this for so long.
Yep.
These guys work extremely hard in all conditions, and they need the best of the best. And now we're going to have the newest, the best fire station, and I'm very proud of that.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, not to keep on keeping on to pull the councilman out of you, but you guys also got to announce yesterday, Mayor Patrick Farrell is putting some downtown police patrol.
We have a brand new precinct. That's something that's being worked on, and we kind of knew about it, obviously, and it was about public safety. And I know everybody thinks we need a precinct individually all over the city.
Right.
But right now we need a lot of emphasis here.
And this is the first step. Maybe more will come.
Yeah, and it will. We're increasing the police force. We just recently had some retirements. We just had recently some upgrades in ranking. Mm-hmm. But we also have some guys at the academy right now.
Absolutely.
So things are going great. Our police force does a phenomenal job. Our numbers are climbing. It's good to see it. It's a good feeling to see our guys down there. It makes people feel safe and comfortable. And I know some people would disagree with that. I can promise you the mom and her little kids that are walking down there, whether nothing's going wrong at all, it's just nice to get a friendly nod from a police officer and say, "How are you doing, ma'am?" and things like that.
It really is.
It just means the world to people. And if that is all it takes to make you feel safe as presence, go for it.
Absolutely. I was going to say, just as being a woman and getting around on my own, maybe I've had a late meeting over at the Huntington's Kitchen or something, and I parked at Pullman Square, walking in the dark over there by myself. That's going to be reassuring, knowing that is available. And if I do have to yell, it's there. I mean, I don't anticipate that happening. I feel like this is going to be more of a letting people know we're here and we're not going to tolerate your ability to act less than human.
Yeah,
and
that's correct. And
I think that's going to be most of the focus. And I hope that that's all it becomes. I hope that we don't need them in other ways. But it's very, very exciting, and I agree with you wholeheartedly. Just getting that friendly nod from an officer or that hello, how are you? It makes a world of difference.
I encourage people to take advantage of this situation. This is such a good situation. I know people think automatically police. Oh gosh, listen. our officers are complete gentlemen and ladies. They are there.
They are.
If you have a flat tire, if you have an issue or anything, that's another way to look at this. This is not always about
fathers, mothers,
guns
daughters.
blazing. That's not what this is. This is about good people helping good people.
These are humans being human and signing up
Hauling
for a
this
little
together.
extra to protect us.
What a beautiful thing. And we already own Pullman Square.
Absolutely.
So there's no differential there. We already own this building.
Right.
We're just in a blank space, putting our officers to have that precinct there.
Absolutely.
So it's great.
I think it's awesome. It's super exciting. Well, I guess that's really all I have going on. I'm excited for summer. I think we're going to keep on keeping on with our really cool interviews. Those have been going really well.
Why don't you talk a little bit about the growth of how our podcast is doing? It seems to be going very, very well quickly.
And you guys, we're so thankful for you. We tell you all the time, this is your podcast. We're just the mouths running it, but we have grown from 11,000 to 11.4 thousand literally in 24 hours. We had 91 downloads yesterday alone. That's huge.
It is.
It's huge. And we are so thankful to you guys.
Beyond words.
And we hope that you continue to support us. Like and share and rate the podcast. It takes 2 seconds and it means the world to us. It helps us get noticed on other platforms when you guys rate us and share and things like that. It really means a lot. It's the difference. A way I like to explain it is it's the difference in you log into Spotify and you search Tri-State Time Machine. You're going to have 15, 20 different random ones come up, but because we get rated and the more ratings you have, even if they're bad ratings, which we don't want bad ratings, but even if they're bad, the more ratings you have, the higher you are up in that queue when you search for those things.
Right.
So it's a little play on the algorithm. I don't think I'm saying that correctly. Algorithm, is that correct?
Algorithm.
Like that you said it. I can't say it for nothing.
It's okay.
Today I can't speak at all, but we're just thankful, so thankful beyond words. I woke up this morning. I told Jason this. I woke up this morning and I hardly ever check the podcast ratings first thing. That's something that I did very early in the beginning, and then I would let myself down very quickly doing it. So I had made myself stop doing it. And this morning I rolled over and checked it. And I honestly, I thought my phone was acting up. I was like, there's no way that's right. So I get out of the bed, walk to the desktop, reload that one, and sure enough, it shows up 91 yesterday. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, I can't believe it.
This, to me, is a testament of just trying to do what's right for everybody.
Absolutely.
We tell everybody this is your all's podcast. We're just trying to get you seen, get you heard, be there for everybody, talk about what a beautiful place this Tri-State is. And, that's why it's so important that everybody get involved in this. This is your podcast. Get involved. We want you to like, share it, make it yours, be a part of it. Tell us the things you like, you don't like, what you'd like to see and hear. And we're going to announce very soon that, to be honest with you all, what we're going to do is we're going to start doing some lives.
Yes.
We're going to come to you.
I'm glad you thought to share this with everybody.
We're going to come to you. So it's up to you, Tri-State. Where do you want to see us? Where do you want us to be at? What do you want to hear about? And that, again, will be a testament to just doing things the right way. We could invite you here all the time, but let's come to you some too. Let's make it a little easier for you.
We're
to get
excited.
your story.
We want to meet some of you guys.
Yeah.
We really do. We interact with you. We interact with you online, and we want to know you in person, and we want to be able to hear your stories of how we got you through maybe a hard time or something like that. Because I know for me, some of my favorite podcasts, it's the ones that I can turn on and zone out and kind of leave the world behind. And I hope that we're that for you guys. I really do.
I really do too. I hope that we bring back great memories of you and your family, and whether it be your grandparents, your parents, even your kids, grandkids. We hope that we're touching base on a little bit of everything to make you smile and remember these things on your trips back and forth.
Absolutely. Well, guys, it's been great, but we are out of here.
We're out of here. Thank you all.
Thanks for listening to the Tri-State Time Machine, brought to you by Alex R. White, PLLC, at SueDistractedDriver.com. If you have a memory you want Vanessa to talk more about, just send her an email at tstm@mail.com or post a comment on the Tri-State Time Machine Facebook page. Did you like the episode? Be sure to share it with friends and family. It's the only way we can continue this fun work that we do. You can find a link in the show notes that you can use to share it. And be sure to let our sponsors know you like the podcast as well. Their contact information can be found in this episode's show notes.